Stand up. Stand up, Randy, we're doing the pledge. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Barber?
Here.
Mr. Bruno?
Haven't left.
Mr. Irwin?
Here.
Mr. Douglas, who will be running the meeting as deputy supervisor?
Here.
Mr. McDonald, supervisor via Zoom?
Oh, he just said here.
Via
Okay.
Zoom. Mr. Gwinnett, zoning officer, Mr. Tatro, water and sewer superintendent, Mr. Flynn, youth director, recreation director, Mr. Farrell, highway superintendent, Ms. Barber, confidential secretary to the board.
And Mr. Moore. Thank you, as always. Okay, we need a motion to approve the minutes of the town board, regular town board of November 9th, 2020.
Make the motion.
By Mr. Bruno.
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Irwin. All in favor?
Aye.
Randy said aye too. Did you get his vote? I could hear his little voice there. Okay, and now we need a motion to accept the minutes of the special meeting of November 12th.
Make that motion.
Mr. Bruno,
Second.
Mr. Barber.
You were very wrong.
Okay, one more. Special meeting of November 16th, 2020.
I'll move that.
Mr. Irwin,
Second.
Mr. Barber, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. All right, community input on agenda items.
No, that's.
No, on anything.
Sorry, community input, is there anybody signing?
No, I haven't signed up. I do have a question.
John Ryan,
I didn't
you're
sign
right.
up. How was your walking tour
Yes,
of the walking trail or whatever proposed? How'd that go today?
went well. We started, John, from over right on Maiden Lane, and we walked through the trail and came out at Sullivan Park. We're in touch with the Del 2 to keep her up pace. Now we have to go with, is it Mr. Swain?
Swain, yes.
Mr. Swain, Mr. Sullivan, to get some easements for them, and, you know, and it's, we think that, that place right there, John, is where we could get the most bang for our buck for the $125,000 that we got from, you know, Billy Jones, because there is, I'm sure, have you ever walked through there, John, at all?
No.
No, well.
My wife said when she went to high school, she used to go down to Sullivan Park there many years ago.
Yeah.
How old is she? Been down there a few times myself back in high school.
Stories, but we're not getting into Okay, that's good.
One map?
But John, yeah, we got actually, you can show him one of those. We got a picture of, you know, Bob printed it out for us. It shows the wetland.
This is where we went up. We parked there and we went up through here.
Yeah, I saw your cars. I came along, I was a little bit
Yeah.
late.
But it was a nice walk, and
So you figure that's the best alternative versus,
for the $125,000, because you know that's a lot of money, but you don't get much nowadays for $125,000. I mean, when we were looking down here, and if you went from where like that.
Yeah, we were looking at big bridges again, where
You
there
know.
we only have a small bridge.
And there's,
now where'd you say the 125 came from?
this was a, go ahead, Dan.
Through Billy Jones Trail Grant. It's being administered by DASNY, which is the dormitory authority of the state of New York.
Okay.
And we're hoping, John, where the little brook is, somebody had said, you know, maybe we could get some of the students from Paul Smith to build, you know, I mean, it doesn't have to be an elaborate bridge like
Eagle
this.
Scouts.
I mean, you know, it's just a, you know, narrow
Okay.
little brook going down
Now,
through there.
a couple of them big trees will just.
Okay,
sit
good.
off and-
Do you have any, is this something you're looking to do in the next year, maybe?
Yep,
Yes.
absolutely. I think there was a time restraint on that grant, right?
Yeah, and we got extended because of everything that's going on a little bit. I think, excuse me, didn't we?
I don't know that there's a time constraint on spending the money, just to get the paperwork
Right.
back in.
And that's what Pam needed to get thank goodness Pam is.
So a lot depends on what Mr. Swain gives us for an easement, whether we stay closer to the brook or go straight up the hill. You know, if we go right up the hill, we're at the nice road, but depends what Mr. Swain decides.
It's a nice trail all the way down through there.
Right.
Okay, great.
There's a couple joggers on there and a couple people walking dogs already, you know.
People use that now even, I mean, a lot.
Huh?
Yeah, okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, number 6 is this resolution.
Want that map back.
I did get one today.
Oh, that one's got my hand drawn on it.
Okay. Number 6 is a resolution to approve the 202B resolution for the sewer line upgrade project, which we just held the public hearing for at 5:45.
Right?
Any motion? We got a
I'll make a motion.
I'll second that motion.
Mr. Barber, Mr. Bruno. Diane?
The following resolution was offered by Mr. Barber, who moved its adoption, and second by Mr. Bruno, to wit, Resolution 20.11.23-1 of 2020 of the Town Board of the Town of Peru in accordance with Town Law Section 202-B, determining that it is in the public interest to undertake improvements to the Town of Peru Sewer District Number 1, and further authorizing the town to submit applications to the New York State Environmental Facilities Corporation and others for grant funding and financial assistance in connection therewith. Whereas Section 64(3) of the Town Law of the State of New York empowers the Town Board of the Town of Peru, Clinton County, New York, the town, to manage, maintain, and control town properties as the purposes of the town may require. And whereas the town has, pursuant to the town law, created the Town of Peru Sewer District Number 1, the district. And whereas the town board of the town has determined that it is necessary and desirable for the town to undertake a project consisting of the increase in improvement, acquisition, and construction of sewer improvements for the district, and the acquisition of land or rights in land necessary therefore, if any, and the acquisition of original furnishings, equipment, machinery, and apparatus, including related site work, paving, restoration, and repairs. The project, and whereas the town, as a local agency pursuant to the New York State Environment Quality Review Act, ECL Section 8-0101, and implementing regulations 6 NYCRR Part 617, the regulations having reviewed the impact of the acquisition, construction, and reconstruction of the sewer system improvements comprising the project upon the environment determined by resolution adopted February 27, 2017, that the project is an unlisted action that will not result in any significant adverse impacts to the environment, and whereas AES Northeast competent engineers licensed in New York prepared a map and plan for the project as amended, and whereas the cost, but not the scope of the project, has increased from $4,618, yes, to $5,404.24, and the town board, in accordance with the town law section 202-B, and by order dated November 9th, 2020, called for a public hearing to consider the increase in improvement of the facilities of the district at a maximum estimated cost of $5,404.24 to be held on November 23rd, 2020 at 5:45 p.m. in the town of Peru, at the Town of Peru Town Building located at 3036 Main Street, Town of Peru, New York, for the purpose of hearing public comments thereon. And whereas said order was published and posted as prescribed and required by the town law, which order contained a description of the project and specified the estimated maximum cost thereof to be $5,404.24, and whereas the town board conducted said public hearing on November 23rd, 2020, to hear comments from all persons interested in the subject matter thereof and discuss if the project is in the best interest of the town, and whereas the town board has become aware of grant and funding opportunities through the New York Environment Facilities Corporation and others, including the Clean Water State Revolving Fund Program, New York State Water Infrastructure Improvement Act Program, and other state and federal financing programs, including clean water. Whereas the town desires to apply for and participate in funding opportunities to the maximum extent possible, and whereas the town board is determined that the increase and improvement of the facilities of the district is in the public interest and now desires to authorize the acquisition, construction, and equipping of the project and the financing of the cost thereof, and now therefore be it resolved on November 23rd, 2020 by the town board of the town of Peru, Clinton County, New York, as follows. Section 1, the town board hereby determines that after such public hearing and upon the evidence given thereat, it is in the public interest to increase and improve the facilities of the district and to undertake the project. The acquisition, construction, and equipping of the project at a maximum estimated cost of $5,404,024, inclusive of all professional costs and all other necessary costs incidental to such work, is hereby approved. Section 3. The town supervisor is hereby authorized to submit an application on behalf of the town for grant funding under the New York State Environmental Facility Corporation's applicable grant programs relative to the project or any other grant or funding provider, including but not limited to the CWSRF program and WIIA program, and to execute any agreements, instruments, or other documents in connection with the town's acceptance of any such grants and or the funding thereof. The town supervisor may authorize any required local match required with respect to financing or grants awarded to the town for the project through the use of in-kind services without further approval of this town board. And the town supervisor is hereby designated as the authorized representative of town for all aspects of the project, including all application and district financing purposes. This resolution shall take effect immediately. Wherefore, the foregoing resolution was put to a vote of the members of the town board of the town this November. The results of which vote was as follows. Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Douglas?
Yes.
Mr. Irwin?
Yes.
Mr. Barber?
Yes.
Mr. Bruno?
Yes.
Yes.
Mrs. Miller, I'm sorry that was such a long,
I wouldn't let them write another.
I would have liked to have just had it very,
Can we get a clarification
Oh, I wasn't looking
on
over
paragraph 4, sentence 2?
yeah, I'm sorry, Diane, that's a lot of.
That's absolutely fine.
The next one, she only has to read the summary of bond resolution.
There we go.
Well, that was not quite so bad.
There's been a summary on that one too.
Okay. can we get a roll call?
Yeah, I didn't have to say it, right, Bob? I was so glad it was like, okay, what is it?
You had me at hello.
Everybody voted?
We
Yep,
did
everybody's
vote.
voted.
We're good, thank you. I was so concerned with Diane reading that story to us. Number 7.
And every one of us understood every word I said, too. I'm
We
so
were
glad. We're all wonderful students.
We were listening.
I
Okay,
took a nap.
we got that too. Okay, I need a motion to approve the amended bond resolution for the sewer line upgrade project.
Be happy to make that.
Go ahead, Brandy.
Made a motion.
Yes, did. We're waiting, who?
I'd be happy to second. Can you make a motion?
Brandy made the motion,
Second.
and Mr. Bruno, yeah. All right, so go ahead, let's read it. Just have to read that little.
Yeah, a resolution adopted by the town board of the town of Peru, Clinton County, New York, on November 23rd, 2020, amends and restates resolutions adopted December 10th, 2018, and January 14th, 2019, authorizing a project consisting of the reconstruction, repair, and replacement of certain tower sewer facilities, including the North Bend Truck Sewer Main Lane Pump Station, and Forest Main Old Peru Sewer Main, installation of Main Street and the Little Osable Pump Stations and Forest Mains, and including for all of the foregoing related site work, paving, restoration, and repairs, quote unquote, the project, and authorizes the levy of a tax for the foregoing object or purpose in an amount not to exceed $5,404,24, which to the extent necessary after expected grant funding shall be levied and collected in annual installments in such years and in such amounts as may be determined by the town board, and that in anticipation of the collection of such tax bonds and notes of the town are authorized to be issued at one time or from one time to time. in the principal amount not to exceed $5,404.24, and a tax is authorized to pay the interest on said obligations when due. Under the local finance law, the project has a period of probable useful of 40 years. Mr. Barber.
Yes.
Mr. Bruno.
Yes.
Mr. Irwin.
Yes.
Mr. Duffy.
Yes.
Mr. McDonald.
Yes.
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, number 8, we have a resolution for the approval of the salary setting resolution for 2021. Need a motion?
I'll make it.
Mr. Barber?
I'll second.
Mr. Irwin?
Oh, sorry.
That's okay, don't be sorry. Gotta go through all the other papers there.
A resolution authorizing the setting of salaries of board members and non-board members. Whereas the town board has proposed to raise for town board members, supervisor, recreation director, and recreation admin to take effect January 1, 2021. And whereas the town board included funding in the final 2021 budget to support the proposed raise, and whereas the town board has now determined that it's not the right time to approve a $793.50, $4,662, $544, and $100 raise for town members, supervisor, recreation director, and recreation admin respectfully. And whereas in accordance with town law, section 27, the town board has the authority to set town board salaries at any point in time during the fiscal year, providing the board is not reducing an incumbent board member's salary midterm. And whereas in accordance with town law, section 27, the town board has the authority to set town non-board salaries such as recreation director and recreation admin at any point in time during the fiscal year, providing the board is not reducing an incumbent non-board member's salary midterm. And whereas the town board has determined not to increase the town board members, school supervisors, recreation directors, and recreation and midline salaries in 2021. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board hereby set the salaries for town board members to take effect January 2021 at $7,706.50, $25,338, $21,726, and $400. The same amount that town board members, supervisor, and recreation director, and recreation and midline respectively were paid in 2020. Resolved that this resolution shall take effect immediately. Mr. Barber?
Yes.
Mr. Bruno?
Yes.
Mr. Irwin?
Yes.
Mr. Douglas?
Yes.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Got it. Thank you. Okay, resolution number 9. A resolution accepting the resignation of Allison Webanero to,
Not resignation.
I'm sorry, accepting the recommendation of Allison Webanero to the planning board.
I'll make the motion.
Mr. Bruno?
I'll second.
Mr. Irwin?
A resolution approving the appointment of Allison Webanero to the Town of Peru Planning Board to fill the unexpired term of Nicholas Zagrodzky, whereas the Peru Town Planning Board has recommended that Allison Webanero be appointed to fill the unexpired term vacated by Nicholas Zagrodzky on the Town Zoning Board of Appeals until December 31, 2022. Therefore be it resolved, the Peru Town Board agrees with the recommendation of the Planning Board and appoints Allison Webanero to complete the unexpired term until December 31, 2022 on the Town Planning Board. And be it resolved that this resolution shall take effect immediately. Mr. Barber?
Wait a minute. What's up?
No, I thought I heard zoning board of appeals there, it should be.
No, planning board.
Planning board.
Recommended.
No, it says appeals.
Huh?
It
It said, one of them said zoning board of appeals, I just wanted,
Yeah, no,
It says the town planning board has recommended and be filled.
I was wrong.
Yeah, that should be,
One says town zoning board, the other says planning board.
Yeah.
the zoning should be changed to planning.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good catch. I didn't hear it.
Thank you.
Okay.
You read it right, just was printed wrong.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Okay.
Mr. Barber,
Yes.
Mr. Bruno,
Yes.
Mr. Irwin,
Yes.
Mr. Douglas,
Yes.
Mr. McDonald.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, yes.
Ally is in.
Okay, number 10. A resolution. We need a resolution here hiring of Andrew McLaughlin as a new MEO for Highway Department. Mike, do you want to say anything before?
Yeah, we interviewed Andrew approximately 2 weeks ago. Jim couldn't make it. Andrew had applied in the spring when Daryl retired, but because of the virus, we decided to wait, because we were going on split shift anyway, so now is the time. We've got one truck that we're using Chad from Water and Sewer right now to plow. This would fill that final position. Interviewed well. He was a foreman with Kravitz Excavating, so we got some experience with equipment. Since the spring, he has actually gotten a Class A license, so he's truck and trailer. So basically, we just got to show him the runs and, show him how to plow. And he seems like a nice young kid. He's 26. To be honest with you, he reminds me of Tyler, whom we hired. Mel was in on that one.
Yep.
He's kind of the same version he seems to be. So I think he'll be a good fit.
Good.
Get some young blood in there, good thing.
What does MEO stand for?
Yes, it's an MEO.
What's that, machine?
Machine equipment operator.
Okay.
When does he start, Mike?
November 30th. Unfortunately, when I called him for the interview, which was on a Tuesday, it was the day after he just started for Clinton County. So, but when he interviewed for Clinton County, he told him if Peru ever called, unbeknownst to me, I didn't realize he had started for the county, so.
Put his 2 week notice in.
Yep.
That's funny.
Good.
Resolution authorizing the hire of Andrew McLaughlin as Highway Department motor equipment. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I jumped the gun.
We need a motion.
I'm just into
Sorry,
it.
no, I wanted to have Mike's input. I need a motion.
I am sorry.
Mr. Irwin?
Second.
Mr. Barber? I am sorry.
No, I was too zealous. A resolution authorizing the hiring of Andrew McLaughlin as Highway Department Motor Equipment Operator 1. Whereas the town board has agreed that a new permanent motor equipment operator necessary for the effective operation of the Peru Town Highway Department following the recommendation of Town Highway Superintendent Michael Farrell, be it resolved that Andrew McLaughlin be hired as a full-time earner for the town of Peru at an hourly wage to be $18.43 with a start date of November 30th, 2020, and be it resolved that this resolution shall take effect immediately.
Wait a minute, we lost our chief.
He was down at the bottom in the corner and just shrunk down.
Bob just hung up on
There he is.
I lost Bob though.
There you are. You're back on track.
it. Well, we could only hope.
Mr. Barber?
Yes.
Mr. Bruno?
Yes.
Mr. Irwin? Mr. Douglas?
Yes.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Okay.
Good luck, Mike. Glad to hear you got a good guy.
Thank you, Mike. Could I go back,
No.
Bob? Yeah, I'm running out of it. Thank you. Bob, I'm sure you do send a thank you letter to Nicholas for his services and stuff.
He already got one, he's been off the board for a while.
Oh, has he?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Over here.
thank you.
Yep.
Okay, number 11, a resolution to approve the purchase of a new Volvo wheel loader.
When they start calling them wheel loaders,
That's what they go.
really, I'd be baffled there for a minute.
You want to give us anything on
Yeah,
that?
this
Mike?
is we put this in for the 2021 budget, and we were waiting. It's gonna take a minimum 3 months to get without the virus, so now we got the virus, we're thinking it's probably gonna take longer. Usually what we do with the trucks, as soon as the budget passes, as long as the budget passes, we order them because they take so long to get. The 644, which is replacing, is going in on a trade, but it'll never leave Peru. David Babby is actually gonna take ownership from it through Vantage. It's just, we were gonna sell it early, but because of the paperwork, they have to do everything twice, so we're just gonna hang on to the 644 till the new one comes in, as long as the board approves it tonight. When it comes in, Vantage will sign the paperwork to Vantage will turn right around, sign the paperwork over to David Babby. He's paying the same price we're getting in trade. He's probably gonna have to pay sales tax on it, so it'll probably cost him a little bit more than that. So that's what that is, so we just wanna get it ordered. Like I said, it's gonna be months before we see it.
And you don't know a delivery date or anything yet?
No, we just need a copy of the resolution.
Yep.
And then Pam can fax it to Ian Jackson at Volvo and get the ball started.
Okay.
I ran over to the prison, they're a Cadillac.
Yeah, that's right.
Coming with a broom with it, Mike?
Yes, actually, we, once I got the price and saw the price was decent, I put it's actual pickup broom. It's not like the 624, which is an angle broom. This will actually pick it up. It has a water system on it. We cut the gutter broom out because where we sweep, we don't have any curbs, so that was like 25. We don't need it, so we can probably get rid of one piece of equipment now with the two brooms. We'll just use the little one on the lawns, and then the bigger 624 with the angle, get it up middle of the road. This should pick it up and it'll dump it in the truck all at the same time, so it should be one piece of equipment for sweeping.
High tech,
I guess, all right.
cut corn too, maybe we can rent it to the
There you
farmers.
go. So, we need a motion.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second
Mr.
it.
Barber, Mr. Bruno, Mrs. Miller.
A resolution to purchase a Volvo L110H wheel loader from Vantage Equipment LLC from the Sourcewell National Bid List. Whereas the town board has received a quote from Vantage Equipment LLC, which is on the Sourcewell awarded contract National Bid List contract number 032119-VCEIN. Its response to its request of pricing for the purchase of a Volvo L110H wheel loader with a Holmes pickup broom for use by the Town Highway Department. And whereas the town board, in consultation with the town highway superintendent, find that the quote from the Vantage Equipment LLC was the lowest bidder and the one that most closely met the requested specifications. Whereas this pricing from the Sourcewell award contract number 032119-VCE represents a 42.1% savings off the list price. See attached quote, and therefore be it resolved that the bid of a Vantage Equipment LLC for a Volvo L110H wheel loader with a Holmes pickup broom and a 4.3 yard HD GP bucket with trade in the town of Peru 644 loader for $234,877 is hereby accepted, and the town supervisor and highway superintendent are hereby authorized to execute any further documentation necessary to facilitate and/or consummate the purchase for a price not to exceed this amount, and it is further resolved that this resolution shall take effect immediately. Mr. Barber?
Yes.
Mr. Bruno?
Yes.
Mr. Irwin?
Yes.
Mr. Douglas?
Yes.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
It's like almost half price. Glad we're not paying the full price.
Okay, number 12. Oop, you all right? Okay. Number 12, sewer project update.
Another one?
I mean, the only thing, we had the construction meeting, seemed to go good. We had 3 contractors show up. And the engineers are issuing a 1-week extension due to some of the questions, giving them time to answer the questions. And the contractor's a little more time for the bidding. I do not have an exact date yet on when that bid opening will be, but find out, to let everybody know.
Thank you.
I'm glad that we got some local, we had luck and the other guy that did it and another one, so that's good.
What, are we open to any changes on that boring in front through hardware? Digging, boring?
That wasn't discussed any further, so as of now, I believe it's still gonna be digging in that one section.
I didn't know if you talked further with them after.
No, none of them brought, at least they didn't bring it up to me after.
Yeah, those two
But
guys.
I do
were
meet with the
saying-
construction manager tomorrow, so I'll see if him and I will go over the plans.
Mike did a good job with it too, you know, from AES.
Yeah,
Great.
he's been around for a while.
Yeah.
Courtney, the three were Luck, Reel, and
Reichenberg,
Reichenberg.
Luck, Reel, and Reichenberg.
REIL.
EAL.
Yeah.
And then the other one?
Reichenberg. I used to say, don't ask me to spell.
All of
Not horrible spelling.
Reichenberg was the one that
That's
did on
where-
it last
Question
time,
mark.
correct, Courtney? Reichenberg,
I believe so, yes.
was she
Yeah.
the one that bid on it?
Last time.
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Go down to other business. And then we'll go around here. You good?
I'm good.
Mr. Bruno?
Just trying to picture if Brandy's gonna look like you in 10 years from now when he's sitting there.
He'll never look this good. Right, Randy? Randy, I'm gonna ask you if you wanna say something after too, so, okay?
I'm good.
Just hang on. All right,
Randy, I think there's a cat behind your right shoulder.
all right.
I'm good.
Thank you, Mr. So,
He's never done.
Diane?
I'm all set, thank you.
Courtney?
There's just a couple things. I don't know if anybody has got complaints about us taking the hometown hero banners, but somebody did leave a complaint here because we took them down before Veterans Day. We did that because of the construction on Bear Swamp. We didn't want them to get damaged. Plus
Yeah.
last year we left them up, we got a lot of wind damage once. So if anybody does, I'd be more than happy to explain it. But with all the poles being drilled on Bear Swamp, I've been in talks with O'Connell Electric and told them that I'd get them out of their way.
Also too, Courtney, is that was documented in the minutes. That
Yeah.
you ins- That was the reason why.
Yeah.
So back in, I mean, I can obviously look up the minutes to know that. Maybe we need to put something on the website just explaining to her why people are questioning it.
Well,
We only had one complaint.
I mean, it might only be the one person.
It was just
No,
because-
people have.
I understand what you're saying, but when people, the town doesn't own those after they're made.
Yeah.
The people still own them. And the damage that they sustained last year, and when we went to the people and told them, if you want it fixed, you gotta fix it yourself, that went over like a lead balloon too.
Yeah.
So I think by, like we said before, costing on the, so everything came out well, and they weren't damaged, was the thing to do.
Yeah, and I know Brandy noticed that town of Plattsburgh
Oh, they got
had quite a few get damaged. 'cause
Yeah,
when
and
you
I
get those
think,
winds
yeah,
in the end of
because-
October.
I did not hear anything, and Jeannie Arnold would have heard something, because Jeannie Arnold was.
It was some gentleman that came in that was from the VFW. I did contact Judy LaFave from the VFW
Thank you. Yeah.
and asked her if she could reach out to find out who it was. So I said there was no disrespect
No,
intended, that it was for saving
I
the
think-
signs.
explanation is a good thing, like Rick said, or nobody wants these signs damaged. It would be done for the right reason, and I just think, I mean,
So
just tell the guy.
Judy said she
there's a
would check it out and
reason.
let us know, but I haven't heard back from
We
her.
didn't hear anything.
And going along with those banners, the winter ones, like I said, I have been in contact with O'Connell Electric. I've been on their job site a few times with the poles. They're behind now, so we are gonna start hopefully tomorrow putting up the winter ones. But Bear Swamp's only gonna be a couple poles, cause they still don't have the new poles in and they'll be in the way. So we're only gonna do a couple and we'll come up through here. I think most of the new poles are set up through the village, but that should hopefully start tomorrow. Depending
They got
on my
some pretty big
depending on my
ladders.
staffing.
They got some pretty big ladders over there, don't they?
Oh, yeah, they're drilling 14 feet ground.
14 feet. Oh my God, I don't know how they do it.
They're gonna be tall poles coming out there, 85, 90 footers.
In some cases, those poles are 62 feet down.
Yeah, 14 feet.
Really?
around.
Wow.
Maybe not around
I
here.
saw the auger in front of me in the truck and I'm like, oh my God, that would drill a hole.
So that's, the hope is, they were gonna start today, but I was down.
Okay.
I had one employee on vacation,
Yeah.
another one was sick. Hopefully tomorrow, and then next week we'll be decorating the gazebo.
Work safe, man, that's all we care about, Courtney, you're doing the right job.
Oh, I did remember something. Donnie Koval called and wanted to know when the guys were gonna pick up the Christmas tree, so I believe he's donating a Christmas tree again this year.
Nice.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, okay, then we may be paying Corey.
He's having surgery. His surgery's been postponed a few times, and I believe that it's been postponed again to the 10th of December was the last I was told.
I thought he
He's
was
not
getting-
a well man himself. He's gonna have a quad.
I think since last meeting, the water plant, we had a backwash header break in one of the filter trains. And we lost some of the brand new carbon we just purchased. We lost about 8 inches. We have since fixed the header, and now I gotta order some more carbon to replace it.
Is that internal?
Yes, it's in the filter. It's PVC piping that kind of branches out and
Heather and the
set in after backwash, and it was all over the floor and out in the backwash pit, so we opened it up, and
Didn't we have a choice when we did them to either go stainless steel or PVC?
I think that was before I took over, right?
Yeah, it was before you took over,
Yeah.
100%.
So, we're gonna, so this has happened in 2 trains, so we're gonna this winter open up the third train and change this one out now, because we're assuming that the PVC is probably getting brittle, it's been in there so
You
long.
think it's more effective to go to the stainless instead?
It's gonna be a lot,
Look into
it's
it,
gonna be
maybe?
a lot of weight,
Oh,
because it's suspended.
Okay, yeah,
I
stainless
think
is
you'd have
really
to
heavy.
do, but
Maybe-
I'm thinking that was the original PVC, probably from when the plant was put in the 90s.
Oh, okay.
So, we're gonna go ahead and do the third train.
Okay.
It's only $200, probably $1,000, and do it now before it breaks and we lose the carbon.
I got you. Okay, perfect, thank you.
Parts have been ordered for the wastewater plant. I did get a price for a company to come remove the old equipment and install, and it was $46,000. So I'm gonna look more at the option of hiring Brentwood to come out and assist us on site with, and we'll install it. That was like $2,500 a day, but we'll deal with that once the time comes.
How many days you think it?
I'm hoping just a couple. We're gonna have to we're gonna strip the tank beforehand, and it'll just be installed.
Good news, that's not bad. That's good.
Thank you.
That's it.
Good.
Mike?
Yeah, Mark from Engineering Ventures had called me, and Brandy had asked him last meeting about when he thought he could have the culvert part ready for the first part in the dip at the telegraph, the 2 culverts. So he's kind of looking for an answer. I said, Brandy's not here tonight, there he is, busy, but I don't want to rush it. Think about it till the next meeting. When you actually want to do it, I know when I first talked, we were hoping to do them cheaper, to be honest with you, and do them the same year as the bridge. We can still do it that way, or we can do one dip 1 year, and then probably a year later we'll have to do the other one. But if you think about it for 2 weeks and kind of let us know, because if we're going to do it, we're going to have to get bid documents and stuff like that ready. We don't know on the funding. That's all going to be up in the air. I do know if you get the bridge or culvert New York, it's 90% federal, 5 state, and then 5 local. But you got to get it. That's the next thing. Both of them would qualify, but that doesn't mean you're going to get them. That's kind of the issue we're at. As I said before, politics can come into play in here. So if you think about it till the next meeting, when you actually want to do them, obviously when I started this in 17, we tried to pin Peter down, as I said earlier. It's hard for an engineer to put a lifespan what's left, because of, liability. He thought within 5 years, which would be 2022, so we're coming to that, we'll be a year away, but, at some point, we're gonna have to bite the bullet and do both, for sure. I feel more confident we probably get the funding for the bridge part, because but we don't know, so we think about that, and then try to make a decision for the next meeting,
If we put them both together, would we be more apt to get the funding that way, if they're together?
I don't know, it's two different engineering firms, because, I don't know, it's a good question, but my gut feeling says you're not gonna have any better chance. It just,
Right.
I think you got a better shot at the bridge, behind myself, because it's a bridge.
Right.
That, you see that stuff, most of that stuff does go to bridge. I mean, there is a few culverts, don't get me wrong. I think,
At
my
least
gut
in
feeling,
Peru.
we got a better shot at it with the bridge,
You gotta bring that, tell her, make sure she knows that.
so.
But I think doing the two culverts at the same time would probably be more efficient because the companies don't have to remobilize, they gotta give us a better price,
Yeah, yeah,
Because
and
mobilization is expensive,
regardless, you're gonna shut the road down,
right?
and then if you open it up, even if you did the bridge, and then you're gonna shut it, that's 4 or 5 months. And if you decide to go the same year, you're talking probably 5 weeks anyway at the culvert, so it's gonna get shut back down.
What are we gonna?
Other than,
What
so,
are we gonna do to
it-
the
it's,
two houses that are in
it's,
the
you know,
middle?
so you're either gonna do it over 1 year or 2 years, so it's gonna be a pain no matter which way you do it, so. So that's all I got in that, think about it till the next meeting. I did call Selena Baker from Northern Insurance on this, COVID thing with All Sable. She suggested we get Matt involved with a lawyer to kind of draw something up, just for legalities, how things would work, because I did talk to a former retiree for us, he'd be willing to come in. Obviously, he could only work 2 weeks, because then that's his threshold he can make for the month, so, but that would be every day, and we're only looking, but we're gonna need Matt, if I take myself and 1 or 2 employees, and go to All Sable and drive their trucks, are we gonna, want, whatever the term is,
The liability.
so we're not held responsible if something happens, or vice versa, All Sable, we're shut down and they come and drive our trucks. There's not gonna be a perfect world, it's just, town of Plattsburgh beat me town are kinda doing, they took the suggestion and they're trying to do something too, so, that's where we're at. We do have a meeting, I think it's the 8th, myself and Lloyd, Sandy and Brandy, and, their new superintendent, Pat, and the foreman, Russell. So somewhere around the 8th or 9th, somewhere in there.
We've got a meeting on the 4th as far as emergency layout and emergency plan.
5 o'clock, you said?
Yeah.
Meeting at 5 o'clock.
Yeah, and I was hoping, we could probably do it in one meeting. I don't know if we're gonna now with, because we're gonna get lawyer involved. And I think the pay and all that, I think we can come to an agreement that, because like I know All Sable on Sunday gets double time, that they would just pay their salary if they have to come here. And if we go there, this would be the time and a half or whatever like it normally is. But that part I think is simple. It's just the legality, you get the lawyer involved and see what we actually gotta do. Make sure everybody's covered.
Could you touch base with Matt on that then?
One thing you also should consider too, whether you do the single culvert or the 2 of them at once, you want to keep in mind about your bonding. I'm assuming we're going to have to bond it for that amount.
Right.
You probably, if you do a single one, you won't get any bonding for that because it's not enough.
Right.
So you'd have to do at least the double culvert and or the bridge at the same time, but
Yeah.
at least the double
Thank
culvert
you,
for bonding purposes.
I like the double.
Yeah, and then,
And she did talk about,
Question.
Yeah, I'd like to get it all done once.
Yeah.
Yeah,
she did mention,
Who's gonna take care of those houses, and
Right,
that's gotta be answered.
there's 2 houses in the middle of those 2.
what's that?
You got Carl bags and you got another little brown house that's in the middle. If we close them, if we got one company or two companies working together on both ditches, what are those two houses gonna do? How are they gonna get in and out?
Yeah, you gotta do one, for sure.
Okay.
You gotta, that was original, even if we were gonna do two in the same time, you know, do the bridge first,
Mhm.
and then do the culverts, or vice versa.
Not at the same time.
Not at the same time, no.
Okay.
You got it, because it's, a perfect world would be, yeah, if we could, but we can't.
It'd be easy.
So, but to go back to that, she did suggest it would be a lot easier if we take, the retirees that are willing to come in and put them on the payroll. Just, even though they're not working, just that they would already be in, and then it would be kind of seamless, but I just soon have Matt figure that out, because that part gets beyond me, so.
Okay, we'll get on.
It's just, if something happens, say that, you know, you wreck the truck, or you hit
Right.
somebody's car, or somebody run into you, just that everything's covered, you know, and you got a town of Peru employee driving all Sable, or all Sable driving.
How does that work now?
So,
How
what's
does
that?
that work now with shared services?
We talked about that, and we talked about it at the,
We're driving our own vehicles.
at our county meeting last week. The shared services under for normal circus doesn't really get into the emergency, and Carl actually was there from the county, and that was asked the same thing, you know, and the state guy was there. That shared services is for normal, you help us pave, we'll help you pave, that's kind of.
But you run each other's equipment too.
Yeah, but this is kind of an emergency deal, because, you know, when we do the shared service, mostly, we're using our own equipment. The only other time we didn't, is when, down at Danamora's garage, a few years ago, the truck actually, we got an auction, it was international, it's for sale. They just had to put a rider on it, and they had it all winter, you know. So, that was a little bit different than what this is,
Franklin?
so. There's just some kinks that will have to be worked out, so.
Yep, all right, Mike, that sounds good, you're on top of things, thank you.
Mike, I got one quick question for you. What about, is it too late to get the roads lined that you paved this summer?
What's that now?
Is it too late to get the roads lined?
Yeah, unfortunately, when they called around, they call in the spring. And that's when the virus hit, and I wanted to save some money, and that's actually a town board expense. And that was one way we could save some money, because with this pandemic, and then I didn't hire back for Darrell right off, because I wanted to save quite a bit of money, and we did. I did call the county, but unfortunately the county, usually they order extra paint, but they cut Allen off the minimum, whatever. I did try to get it, because I did just had a lady call me on Brand Hall, the section we paid, and I was just trying to get a center line, because it's with it dark, a lot of towns you go to, they aren't center, but once you get a line there, it is kind of nice, so.
I'm getting a few people questioning me about, you know, cars passing on a downhill run.
Yeah,
I don't know if we're liable. You know, no liability.
it's too cold now is the problem. I have another guy that retired from Essex County, I could probably get a hold of him and see if he's got an idea. I mean, like I said, all we need is a center line. You know, it wouldn't be too much, but that was, I'll take the blame for that. It just, that's usually a $25,000 a year deal, just for a few ropes. So it's expensive, but you know, it was an area we could save some money, not knowing what was going to happen. But like I said, I'll take the blame for that. It's,
Good. John?
Just a couple things. Whiteface has postponed the ski club until January 24th. So,
That's, nobody's skiing away from us?
as far as the town ski clubs.
Okay.
So that's separate, and I think they're doing regular skiers, I think it's 50% capacity. But as far as the ski clubs, they're not allowing any ski clubs until at least the 24th. So hopefully on the 24th, we get our, you know, program up and running, but we won't know until they decide.
So if you start the 24th, that's going to cut out like you do it on the
It's
weekend.
6 Sundays.
So how many will you be doing, you think, then?
Well, I'm hoping they get all 6 in, you know, but we're at their mercy as far as what they want to do. You know, they might charge a little less, I don't know, you know, but they're still trying to figure it out, but I'm not, I don't know. I'm not too, it doesn't sound too promising, but, you know, it might clear up, you know, a little bit, and they can have a ski club, so. But as soon as I find out, I can let everybody know.
But definitely right now, it's the 24th before you will start.
Right, and we might not even, I mean, the 24th are gonna let us know
10, oh,
if we can start.
if you could start.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Second thing is the town received a donation from Northern Extreme Softball Team for $1,523.21. They sent a letter, I'll read it, just a quick letter. Dear Mr. Flynn, enclosed, please find our check in the amount of $115.23.21 as a donation from the Northern Extreme Softball Team. Our softball team was a tax-exempt organization that raised funds from raffles and donations. Since we have decided no longer to continue to have our softball team per the bylaws of our board, all remaining funds must be donated to another town-exempt organization. Our board has chosen the Town Peru Youth Commission because of the wonderful programs the Peru Youth Commission does for the local youth in our community. Thank you very much. So,
Where are they from, John?
it's called the Northern Extreme Softball Team. A lot of the girls are from Peru. There are a couple girls from Sable, Beaton Town. But it's just something they decided not to do anymore. The girls were getting older. So they needed to donate some money, so they picked us. So
Okay.
Who's in charge of that? Who's in charge
her
of that?
name is Amy Chase. She's a teacher at school. And Brittany Marshall is the other girl. They're the coaches.
What was the amount again, John?
Just to make
15,
sure.
20,
1521, wasn't it, John?
I think it was
15, 23, 21.
Thank you. 15, 23, 21. So we'll try and use something softball oriented next year maybe. We'll come up with something softball specific because they're a softball team.
Okay.
That's it.
All right, thank you. Bob?
I got one thing.
Yeah.
I'd like to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving and a healthy Thanksgiving. Since I'm not gonna see you all, most of you, until after.
Thank you.
Even you, Brandy.
Randy?
Happy Thanksgiving.
Randy, before I say anything, do you have anything that you wanna?
You guys should talk about the Christmas tree lighting, what we're gonna decide, because that's gonna be December 4th. And, obviously I won't be able to help you guys with that, so, I don't know, what you guys are still thinking every day, obviously with the county and stuff. But you guys should talk about that probably tonight.
I think, Brandy, for me, I think if we do the tree, I think it was, and I'm only speaking if I remember, the consensus was that we'll do the tree and we could light it and stuff, but let the fire department come by. And if people want to be there in their cars and stuff, but, not a big congregation. I mean, is that what we
Yes.
pretty much decided now? So, and it's not getting any better, so I don't think that we should be trying to initiate big groups to come to the lighting.
Yeah, maybe we can see if John can do a nice straight up, we're, gonna say it for the tree lighting for
Sure.
Doug. And then we can have a nice write up for it, at least,
Sure.
if we can.
Have you got in contact with, has anybody gotten in contact with Doug or anybody yet?
Yes, I've talked to his daughter.
Yeah.
And they would be more than happy, and obviously honored to have us do that for him.
Okay.
They weren't gonna say anything to him until after their thing on Saturday.
Right.
Because they just had, but they would be honored.
And
obviously, by that.
he would go there and, I mean, we could still have a countdown and let him light it. Is that your plan?
I'm not sure, you guys would have to organize that.
Okay, we can do that.
I
Yeah.
got it to December 6th.
December 6th or the 4th?
December 6th is what I'm doing.
Oh, December 6th, well, you're good. Okay, no, but December 4th, yeah. And we'll coordinate it with Courtney and get it, go ahead,
I
Courtney.
don't know if anybody's talked to the fire department, but I don't know if they'll have trucks decorated this year.
Oh,
As of right now, the fire station's locked down only for emergency calls.
You hear that, Brandy?
Yeah, so
Did you
maybe
hear?
we can just have a nice write-up and, at least, light the tree that night you guys could, without advertising, any kind of big thing, especially if the fire department, like Courtney said, if they're on lockdown, that's the other thing is, for the town board too. I talked to Matt today about that and stuff, and, it should be only announcement if we still feel comfortable going to the meetings, and then everyone else should be Zoom.
Right.
The department heads and everything should be Zoom, and even like John Wright, if you could do Zoom, it's suggested that way. A lot of other towns are doing the same.
Yeah.
Right.
I think we talked to everybody now, pretty much, the only ones would be here is, us guys, and then, Pam and Diane, and then everybody else will be Zoom. Okay? All right. And I think maybe we could just have some kind of a tree lighting, and we'll coordinate it, and Brandy, or Courtney will get the tree set up, right, Courtney? We're all set there, Brandy. Anything else?
Okay, awesome. No, man, I just want to thank you guys for the last couple of days, what you guys, Courtney and Diane and everyone, and Pam and everyone has done, go out of your way, put you guys on the spot the last couple of days to grab all the stuff for Thanksgiving stuff. I appreciate it a lot.
You get them fuzzy pictures?
Yes, I did.
You guys killed my battery at hunting camp with all your text messages.
Thank you, Brandy. All right.
Excuse me,
It was
Jim.
fun.
I'm sure you'll talk to everybody, but happy Thanksgiving.
Excuse me, Jim.
Yeah, hold on.
I did have one other thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
We did talk during budget time about the, an increased water and sewer rates.
Yeah.
If we're following suit with that, I believe we need to have a public hearing. Am I correct?
You have to have a vote.
Yeah, we have to have a
So we'll
public
have
hearing.
to, we're able to move forward with that, we can just have a public hearing date.
Well, we're moving forward.
Yeah, so, if you want to set a date,
When you have to reset the rates, is there a specific?
Well, I mean, I think we have it for the first of the year. Customers would not see a reflection until the March billing.
until the March.
Right,
We'll do it before the next
because the
meeting.
first bill that comes out is actually for the last quarter of this year.
Yeah. Okay, so,
We do it 15 minutes before the next meeting?
yeah, how about if we do it 15 minutes before the next town board meeting, which is,
The 14th.
is it
7?
December 7th?
No, December 14th.
It can't be the 7th.
No, it's the 14th.
No, it's the 14th, I said, okay. Would that be soon enough?
That's fine.
Okay, so
We have to,
we'll have it 5:45. Diane,
Oh, I'm
we'll have
sorry.
to have a,
Okay, no, I'm sorry, we have to have a motion then.
Yes, we do. I'll make a motion, we have a special meeting for sewer rates, and water rates,
Public hearing
no, public hearing.
No, public
Yeah.
hearing.
public hearing,
No,
for
public hearing.
2021 water and sewer rate.
2021 water and sewer rates, December 14th at 5:45.
A motion is made by Mr. Bruno,
Second?
second by Mr. Barber, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, is that it, Randy?
I'm good.
You good? Okay. The only other business I had was, I just want to say it was really nice, the fire department and Greg Simmons did a great job, the whole group organizing that parade for Doug Brown. My gosh, there was a lot of cars and stuff. 100 years old. I saw John Ryan standing on the steps taking pictures. But it was really nice. That's all I have, guys. Happy Thanksgiving. I'm sure I'm gonna see you guys before then. Public comments on agenda items only. John?
When will we know the sewer, if the bids come in and so on, when will we know how that will affect the rates?
Well, AES is gonna, we've got them and we've talked to them and they're gonna give us some kind of an idea in a dollar amount. Correct, Courtney? Randy?
I mean, you're not really, he's asking after the bids are opening, then
Oh, after the
but again, you could have change orders that could affect things. I don't know when that takes effect, or when we'd have that figured out.
But I
Hopefully.
I personally don't know how that whole process works. I mean,
Yeah,
it all depends on the rate, the term, I don't know how they figure that.
it would seem that the board would want to know that before you make the final leap into a project.
Let me we'll talk to AES, talk to.
Well, once you get the final bids, I mean, there's a contingency amount that is already built into that for change orders, but you may have something that's unforeseen that's gonna change it more than that, and they have
Or
to make.
less,
Huh?
it could be less also.
It could be less, it could be more, but you're not gonna know until,
What's that, Brandy?
I said, at the top of it, it's something the state is making us do it, so that we are gonna choose to do or not to do. It's
Yeah,
something
we
you know,
have
we
no
have to
choice.
do.
Right, right. But I think, you know, I mean, we can talk to AES, but you know, it's hard to, I guess everybody would like that, you know, and we'll have to come up with some kind of a dollar figure. You're looking, John, you'd like to know what
Well,
the,
$5 million means absolutely nothing to the average taxpayer. I
right,
want to know what it's going to cost them per thousand.
exactly, exactly.
Yeah, we had some numbers there at the very
We
beginning.
But that was what, and we pinned Greg down at one time and he came up with something. We'll work on getting some figures together. for you.
The same thing goes for the water and sewer proposed increase. Do we know what that is?
Yep.
Obviously, if the numbers change, it'd be more than that or less, you know, but at that time it was $70-some every 3 months.
70.
Obviously, that number can change up and down because, you know, of the cost.
Right, 70 at the previous time.
Well,
So they did.
Oh, I know, but even then it seemed a little bit iffy. It would be nice to
And
be
that-
able to pin it down a little
And
bit.
that was a debt service charge, and we're looking at doing ad valorem, so that changes things a little.
So you'll have that before the public hearing though.
I can't say that, I don't know.
Probably not.
No, I don't, I mean, were you talking
Well,
about?
we have that.
Oh, if you want the figures, so the figures for the water and sewer.
The cost will be per
No, two
user.
different
Randy.
things.
We're talking about two different things.
No.
So for the public hearing, we're looking at raising, the sewer rates, $5 on your basic bill,
Oh, I'm
and
sorry.
the water would be $2, so $2 on your basic usage
Per,
per quarter.
Per quarter,
So
okay.
if you're a water and sewer user, it would be a $7 increase on your bill per quarter.
okay.
So about $230 something every month. So it's $5 on sewer, $2 on water.
$12 for the year.
Huh?
$12?
7 a quarter.
Quarter.
I'm sorry.
Okay, per quarter. Okay, thank you.
Well, I'm sorry, I was talking about this big project. I didn't know.
Well,
Oh, we were at first.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
The other thing, so that's where I got confused.
okay.
$7 in increase.
Anything else, John?
No, I just hopefully we can come up with something on, after we get the bids and so.
Yeah, we should.
We've got a ballpark figure now, I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, we're looking at it.
That was a couple of years ago at least.
Yeah, I
a
thought it
long
was
time ago.
around
It's possibly
300
gone
a year
up,
for the
We'll see
year
what the bids come in.
increase.
$84.
Huh?
$84.
But I mean, for the year total, I thought it was 3 to,
It is.
Yeah.
It's $84 a quarter.
Okay.
That was,
That sounds about right.
I believe that's what they came up
74,
with.
80.
because I thought that it was like
That'll
300.
bump it down a little bit
Right.
while the bid comes in.
well, and that was a debt service charge, but if we do ad valorem, that'll fluctuate depending on the value of the residents, I believe, right? Property.
Goes down to their taxes,
Yeah.
which saves them a little bit, helps them out. Good?
Okay.
Anything else, John?
No, thanks.
Judge.
We're all set. Okay, we need a resolution and a motion to pay the bills.
I see a resolution in front of me, so I'll make the motion.
Second by Mr. Bruno. I mean, made by Mr. Bruno. Who's second?
I'll second.
Mr. Irwin, all in favor. Go ahead.
Resolution authorizing the post-audit payment of certain claims, bills, and invoices of the town, whereas the town board has reviewed and audited the following claims, bills, and invoices for services rendered and goods provided to the town in November 2020. From town approved vouchers in October 2020 202001198 through and including 202001280, abstract dated November 23rd, 2020, for the dollar amount totaling $120,591.16. Of that, $14,820.08 was wired, credit cards, and prepaid, and $105,771.08 is remaining to be paid. And whereas the town board finds said claims, bills, and invoices to be acceptable in form and reasonable in amount, now therefore be it resolved that payment of the aforementioned claims, bills, and invoices is approved, and the supervisor be and hereby is authorized to make such payment, and be it further resolved that this resolution shall take effect immediately. Mr. Barber?
Yes.
Mr. Bruno?
Yes.
Mr. Irwin?
Yes.
Mr. Douglas?
Yeah.
Mr. McDonald?
Andy? Still there?
He said yes.
Okay. You good? Okay. Okay, I guess we're pretty well set. I need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that.
Okay, Brandy will second it.
Rates haven't been raised.